Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. In today's video I want to show you this build that I did that was inspired by a British brick cottage that looked super cute. So yeah, I love the inspiration picture, which I'm going to show you now. And yeah, so I tried to recreate it and it wasn't that big, so I decided to make it also into a tiny house. So this one only has 64 tiles and I think it looks quite cute, and with these like red brick colors and also the kind of brownish tint in the roof, I thought it looked perfect for the autumn season. So I really went all in with the autumn vibes. So I used a lot of like red and orange and yellow landscaping. And also this is one thing that I haven't done for a while, but I also made this one on a budget. So this build only cost 27,000 simoleons. That's not quite a starter house, however it is still quite cheap, and I think that if you are like playing with a sim and your sim gets a job and maybe gets its first like 1 or 2 promotions, then they would be able to afford this house, and this would be like kind of a first upgrade house, which is kind of fun. I also realized that maybe I would have been able to make this into a starter house if I, for example, for the ivy that I'm going to place on the outside, had used ivy from the debug menu. I later used a lot of debug stuff in the landscaping, which was a lot of fun because there's a bunch of super cool stuff there that I don't use as often. But yeah, because I used so much debug landscaping to make this build very cheap and affordable for gameplay, that meant that in the speed build footage there was a lot of just scrolling through debug. So later I cut a lot of the landscaping process out of these speed builds because yeah, it was just very tedious to see like all of these scrolls and then testing out different things and then placing one thing and then scrolling further. And so yeah, that's why I later cut out a lot of the landscaping process. But with the exterior of the actual house, I was so happy. I really liked how it all worked together, the brick color and the roof and the windows. I really like that I got to use the new cottage living windows. They look so beautiful and I think they suited this build very well, even though they meant that I would stray away a little bit further from the inspiration picture. But my intent was not to recreate the inspiration picture exactly, it was just to take some inspiration from it. So I think that went very well. So yeah, to sum it up, this is a 27k tiny house that is inspired by the style of a British brick cottage and by the season of autumn. So I made it all very cozy, which was a bunch of fun, and I hope that you like it too. I didn't use any CC in this build, which I usually do, but I just thought that I say it. So yeah, it's easily downloadable. My gallery ID is SunnyCreations. Yeah, it has only 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom because of the limited budget. But yeah, maybe if you have a sim that wants to stay single for a little longer, or there is like space enough for 1 more sim, so if your sim doesn't intend to have like children super quickly, this is, I think, a great first house to upgrade into when you gain a little bit of simoleons. And yeah, as I said, the exterior was something that I was very happy with the brick and the roof and the windows and whatsoever. But yeah, what was actually a struggle for me this time is the landscaping, which is usually my favorite part in a build, so I was kind of confused. But this time I was like not that happy with the landscaping at first, because I think also part of that was because this was made in the season of autumn in The Sims, so a lot of the like bushes and flowers that I placed had like 0 color or saturation to them, and that made me kind of sad at first. So I was kind of debating, yeah, like do I build this in summertime and just use flowers that have a lot of like orange and red swatches, but that was made kind of difficult by the fact that I wanted to landscape with debug items, and with debug items you can't just filter by the colors, so that would have been a lot of searching through debug to do that. So I decided to keep it in autumn, and I have to say in the end I really like the look. I think that when I found those stones in debug to kind of divide the different areas of the terrain height, that already made like such a huge difference. Also because this one is placed on the I think like Cordelia's Secret Cottage Shorts in the New World. Hanford and Beckley, that's the name. So yeah, there is already like lots of stone around the waterfall in the very close area. So I think that one really tied it into the whole like surrounding, which was very nice. And also I exchanged a lot of the trees later, which made it come together more nicely, I think, because at first there was like a lot of contrast between the red trees and then there were also some yellow trees, where in the end I went with like almost all red trees, and for some reason that worked a lot better, which made me very happy. And yeah, what else I did after like the huge cut in the landscaping is that I also placed a bunch of pumpkins along the walkway, because I imagine this house in a time frame that is pretty close before Halloween, like a pretty similar time frame to what we are in now. And yeah, so because of that I thought these people might have just started decorating for Halloween. I didn't place any decoration with the like decorations box from Seasons, which in hindsight would have maybe been a nice idea, but yeah, they just have decorated their garden for now, and there are lots and lots of pumpkins in the garden, which really brought in those colors and those orange accents, which really helped the build. And then underneath those pumpkins I placed these leaves that are originally pretty small. They are this kind of table decoration. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. So they are like autumnal, like small leaves for the table that come with Seasons. I used a lot of Seasons in this build. I didn't use as many packs as usual because I didn't use as many items, but yeah, I did use a lot of Seasons. So yeah, I used these autumnal leaves and sized them up a lot and placed them underneath the pumpkins, and I thought that was a very nice look. It really suited the build well, and that brought it all together. But the thing that I think is really like a gem about the garden area that is very special is something that I've seen in a build that was made for my last shell challenge actually, and that build I think was made by Simoleons, and Simoleons in their build had like a picnic area, and what she did was placing 2 rugs on the floor and then placing one of the new picnic baskets on top of that and surrounding it with cushions, and it was just so beautiful and cozy. I can show you a picture of what she did, and it was so beautiful that I was really inspired. Big shout out by the way to Simoleons, who is an amazing builder and YouTuber. I'm going to link her channel in the description. But yeah, so I took a lot of inspiration and also incorporated a picnic area. Maybe autumn isn't the best season for a picnic because of the cold temperatures, and also it rains a lot, but still I thought it fit very nicely within this build and gave the landscaping a little something special. And also I surrounded this picnic area with pumpkins and also with candles this time, so I think that would be a super romantic place to have like a picnic with a loved one or something. And when it comes to the interior, I of course kept it simple because I was on a budget, but I still tried to stick to a lot of like brown, red and orange colors to stick also with the autumnal theme. And I also tried to pick a lot of like old looking furniture, which I thought worked very nicely and gave the whole like interior a cohesive look, even though I wouldn't say it's something special or interior designy, because yeah, it's just basically the basics that your sim needs to survive, plus an easel for your sim to paint and like some fun items, and also some decorations. Like I placed some pumpkins again and also some plants just to make it more beautiful. But yeah, I would say that I started with the kitchen, and in the kitchen I also used upper cabinets, which now in hindsight, if I hadn't done that and done a few tweaks to like the trees, because first I used some trees that are paid for with like actual sim money, like Simoleons, and also like I used upper cabinets and I used the paid for ivy and stuff. So I think there are some tweaks that you could make to bring this build to under 27,000 simoleons, so maybe even go as low as like 18k, 20k simoleons if you tweak it right, and also take away like the easel and some of the plants maybe. So yeah, if you want to do that, like if you want to download this build and renovate it a little bit to your liking, everything and yeah, just delete a few objects and try to bring it to 20k simoleons. You will officially have my permission to do those renovations and to re-upload it as a starter house to the gallery if you want to, because I like the build the way it is, which is why I went 7k over budget, because I didn't want to tweak it. I really liked how it turned out, but I do realize that this would be way more useful as a starter house, especially because there's only one bedroom. So if you want to take it, renovate it and improve upon it to make it a starter house, that would be my honor, and you have my full permission to re-upload to the gallery. And with that, this build is almost complete. I want to thank you so much for sitting here with me, watching me build this in the speed build format and hearing me talk and just like, I don't know, keeping me company. This was a lot of fun to record for some reason. It was like very easy, came very naturally, this building process and also this voiceover. So yeah, it was a bunch of fun. Thank you so much for watching it. I really appreciate you. I really hope that you liked the build and that you enjoyed the video. I wish you the most wonderful, chill and cozy day. If you haven't already and you would consider subscribing, that would make me super duper happy, and I hope we'll see each other again.